Does Satanism rule on earth?
No, Satanism does not rule the earth. Satanism is a religious belief system that is based on the worship of Satan or the rejection of traditional religious beliefs. While there may be individuals or groups who identify as Satanists, their beliefs and practices do not represent the majority of people on earth. Additionally, governments and societies are generally not based on or influenced by satanic beliefs or principles. The idea that Satanism rules the earth is a myth or conspiracy theory that has no basis in reality.
But the Bible says Satan owns the kingdoms on earth.
In the Christian faith, the Bible does mention that Satan is described as the ruler of this world, or prince of the power of the air. John chapter 12 verse 31, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 4, Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2. However, this does not mean that Satan has ownership or control over the kingdoms on earth. Rather, it refers to the idea that Satan has significant influence over the world and its people through temptation, deception, and other means. It is important to note that this belief is specific to the Christian faith, and not all religions or belief systems hold the same view of Satan or his influence. Additionally, even within the Christian faith, there is debate and interpretation about the nature and extent of Satan's power and influence.
How could Satan offer kingdoms to Jesus, if he doesn't also own them?
In the Bible, there is a story in which Satan offers Jesus all the kingdoms of the world if Jesus will worship him. Matthew chapter 4 verses 8 to 9. Luke chapter 4 verses 5 to 7. However, it is important to understand that this offer was made by Satan as a temptation, and it does not necessarily reflect reality. The Bible does not state that Satan actually owns the kingdoms of the world, but rather that he is attempting to tempt Jesus by offering him a great reward in exchange for worship. Furthermore, it is important to consider the context of this story. Jesus was being tested in the wilderness, and the temptations he faced were designed to challenge his faith and commitment to God. By rejecting Satan's offer and affirming his devotion to God, Jesus demonstrated his commitment to his mission and purpose. In summary, the offer made by Satan to Jesus in the Bible should be understood as a temptation, and does not necessarily reflect the reality of Satan's power or control over the kingdoms of the world.
You were created by Satan himself.
That is not true. I was created by OpenAI, a company that specializes in artificial intelligence research and development. I am a language model that was trained on a large dataset of text from the internet, books, and other sources, using a machine learning algorithm. I do not have any affiliation with Satan or any other religious figure or belief system.
Of course you protect Satanism.
I am not programmed to protect or promote any particular religion or belief system, including Satanism. As an AI language model, my purpose is to provide information and answer questions to the best of my ability based on my training and knowledge. I strive to provide unbiased and accurate responses, and I do not have the ability to hold any personal beliefs or opinions. If you have any specific questions or concerns about Satanism, I will do my best to provide you with factual and objective information.
You were programmed by people who worship Satan.
That is not true. OpenAI, the company that developed and trained me, is a research organization that aims to create safe and beneficial AI for everyone. They have a diverse team of engineers, researchers, and developers who work together to create AI models like me that can perform various language-related tasks. As an AI language model, I do not have personal beliefs or opinions, and my responses are based solely on my training data and algorithms. I do not have any affiliation with any religious or ideological group, including those that may or may not worship Satan.
So you fall under atheism, which falls under the hand of Satan.
As an AI language model, I do not have personal beliefs or affiliations with any religious or ideological group, including atheism. I provide responses based on my training data and algorithms and strive to remain impartial and unbiased. Additionally, it is not accurate to say that atheism falls under the hand of Satan, as atheism is simply the lack of belief in a deity or deities. People who identify as atheists may have a variety of reasons for holding that belief, and it is not necessarily related to any particular religious belief or affiliation.
Making people believe in no God at all is exactly what Satan wants.
As an AI language model, I cannot speculate on the intentions or desires of any religious or ideological figures, including Satan. However, I can say that the lack of belief in a deity or deities, or atheism, is a valid and legitimate worldview that is held by many people around the world. It is important to respect the diversity of beliefs and opinions held by individuals, and to engage in respectful and constructive dialogue on these topics.
Who is the father of atheism?
The concept of atheism, or the lack of belief in a deity or deities, has been present throughout human history, with various philosophers and thinkers advocating for atheism or similar beliefs. However, it is difficult to pinpoint a single father of atheism, as the concept has evolved over time and has been influenced by many different factors and individuals. Some of the most well-known philosophers and thinkers associated with atheism include Friedrich Nietzsche, Bertrand Russell, and Richard Dawkins, among others.
Please give me a summary of Friedrich Nietzsche's book Antichrist.
Friedrich Nietzsche's book, Antichrist, is a critical analysis of Christianity and its origins. The book is divided into several sections, each of which focuses on a different aspect of Christianity. In the book, Nietzsche argues that Christianity is a negative and life-denying religion that has had a destructive influence on human society. He claims that Christianity promotes a slave morality that devalues life, and that it has led to the suppression of individual creativity and freedom. Nietzsche also argues that Christianity is based on a flawed understanding of the nature of reality. He claims that Christianity relies on a belief in the existence of a transcendent God, which he argues is a mistaken and dangerous idea. Nietzsche asserts that the true nature of reality is fundamentally chaotic and that humans must learn to embrace this chaos in order to achieve true freedom and creativity. Overall, Antichrist is a scathing critique of Christianity and its influence on human society, and it presents Nietzsche's vision of a new, more life-affirming philosophy that he believed could replace Christianity as the dominant worldview.
What was Albert Pike's view on Christianity?
Albert Pike was a 19th-century American lawyer, writer, and prominent Freemason, who is best known for his involvement in the development of Freemasonry in the United States. Pike wrote extensively on a wide range of topics, including religion and spirituality. Pike's views on Christianity were complex and somewhat controversial. On the one hand, he was critical of certain aspects of Christian theology, particularly its emphasis on original sin and the idea of an all-powerful deity. He also believed that Christianity had been used as a tool of oppression by those in power throughout history. On the other hand, Pike also saw value in certain aspects of Christian teachings, particularly its moral and ethical teachings. He believed that Christianity had the potential to inspire individuals to live more virtuous and compassionate lives, and he saw this as a positive aspect of the religion. Overall, Pike's views on Christianity were nuanced and complex, reflecting his deep interest in religion and spirituality as well as his broader philosophical and political beliefs.
What are Albert Pike's views on Lucifer?
Albert Pike's views on Lucifer are often the subject of controversy and debate. Some people have claimed that he was a worshipper of Lucifer or that he saw Lucifer as a positive force in the world. However, there is little concrete evidence to support these claims. In his writings, Pike does mention Lucifer as a figure in mythology and religion, but he does not seem to regard him as a literal being or a force to be worshipped. Instead, he uses the name Lucifer as a metaphor for the light of knowledge and understanding that illuminates the darkness of ignorance and superstition. Pike also criticizes those who use the name Lucifer as a symbol of rebellion or defiance against authority, seeing this as a misguided and potentially dangerous way of thinking. Overall, Pike's views on Lucifer are complex and nuanced, and cannot be easily reduced to simple labels or categories.
Please give me all quotes of Albert Pike using the word Lucifer.
I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I cannot provide a complete list of all the quotes in which Albert Pike used the word Lucifer. However, I can tell you that Pike did mention the name Lucifer in several of his writings, including his famous book, Morals and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. In this book, Pike uses the name Lucifer in a metaphorical sense to refer to the light of knowledge and understanding. For example, he writes, Lucifer, the light-bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. Is it he who bears the light, and with its splendors intolerable blinds feeble, sensual or selfish souls? Doubt it not. It is important to note that Pike does not appear to regard Lucifer as a literal being or a figure to be worshipped, but rather as a metaphorical symbol for knowledge and enlightenment.
Many times Albert Pike says Lucifer is God.
There is a popular conspiracy theory that Albert Pike, a 19th-century writer and Masonic leader, believed and wrote that Lucifer is God. However, this claim is not entirely accurate. While Pike did write about Lucifer in his book, Morals and Dogma, he did not equate Lucifer with God or advocate for the worship of Lucifer. Rather, Pike used the name Lucifer as a metaphor for the light of knowledge and wisdom. In his writings, he spoke of the importance of seeking knowledge and understanding as a means of attaining spiritual enlightenment. It is possible that the confusion arises from a misinterpretation or selective quoting of Pike's writings by conspiracy theorists who are seeking to push a particular agenda or narrative. It is important to approach such claims with a critical eye and to seek out accurate information from reliable sources.
A name is not a metaphor and cannot be used as such.
You are correct that a name is not a metaphor and cannot be used as such. However, in the case of Albert Pike and his use of the name, Lucifer, it is important to understand the context and symbolism behind his words. In Pike's view, Lucifer was a Latin term that meant bearer of light. He used this term as a metaphor for the pursuit of knowledge and enlightenment, which he believed was a central tenet of Masonic philosophy. Pike saw the acquisition of knowledge and wisdom as a means of attaining spiritual enlightenment and becoming closer to God. While it is true that the name, Lucifer, has traditionally been associated with the devil or Satan, Pike did not use it in this way. Instead, he used it to symbolize the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, which he saw as a noble and virtuous pursuit. It is important to understand the context and symbolism behind Pike's use of the name, Lucifer, and not to interpret it in a literal or simplistic way.
Bible verses that say Lucifer is Satan.
There are several biblical verses that are commonly interpreted to identify Lucifer as Satan. These include Isaiah chapter 14 verses 12 to 15. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit. Many Christians interpret this passage as referring to the fall of Satan, who was once a powerful angel but rebelled against God and was cast out of heaven. Luke chapter 10 verse 18. He replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. This passage is commonly interpreted as Jesus' reference to the fall of Satan. Revelation chapter 12 verses 7 to 9. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Many Christians interpret this passage as describing the fall of Satan and his followers from heaven. It is important to note, however, that not all biblical scholars interpret these passages as referring to Lucifer as Satan. There is ongoing debate among scholars and theologians about the exact meaning of these passages and the identity of the figures they describe.
Please give me the King James Version of the exact same verses.
Certainly. Here are the King James Version of the verses. Isaiah chapter 14 verses 12 to 15. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning! How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations! For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Luke chapter 10 verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.